If someone told me a month ago that I'd be hiding in a stranger's repair shop, running from a man I once trusted, I would have laughed. But here I am, telling my story, because maybe, just maybe, it will help me make sense of it all. It started with Jason, my little brother. He was always reckless, but I never imagined he'd get himself into something this dangerous. That night, I found a crumpled note in our apartment. His handwriting was shaky. "Anna, I messed up. They want the money by midnight, or they'll come for me. Please help me. I don't know what to do." My hands were ice cold as I read those words over and over. I had no money, no way to save him, except for one option: Alex. I wish I could say Alex was just an old friend. He wasn't. He was wealthy, powerful, and, unfortunately, obsessed with me. He had asked me to marry him once. I had laughed it off, thinking he was joking. He wasn't. And now, I had to ask him for help. Alex lived in a world of polished floors, expensive suits, and people who did whatever he asked without question. I stood in his grand penthouse, feeling completely out of place. He sat on a leather chair, sipping whiskey, his eyes watching me with amusement. "You look desperate," he said, swirling his drink. I swallowed my pride. "I need $50,000. He smirked. "That's a lot of money, sweetheart. What do I get in return?" My stomach twisted. I already knew the answer. "You marry me," he said smoothly, as if discussing business. "And your brother lives." I should have expected it, but hearing him say it out loud still knocked the air from my lungs. I couldn't marry him, but if I said no, Jason was as good as dead. I needed another way out. Desperation does strange things to people. That's the only way I can explain what I did next. Alex turned to pour another drink. I saw the heavy glass vase on the table. Before I could think twice, I grabbed it and swung. The sound of shattering glass filled the room. Alex staggered, eyes wide with shock before he collapsed. My heart raced. He wasn't dead, just unconscious. I moved quickly, yanking open the safe in the corner. My hands shook as I grabbed the cash, stuffing it into my bag. I had seconds before someone walked in. And then I ran. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I had to disappear. By the time I stopped running, my legs were weak and my throat was raw from breathing so hard. I found myself outside a small roadside diner. It was the kind of place where nobody asked questions, which was exactly what I needed. Inside, a man sat alone at the counter, stirring his coffee. He glanced at me as I walked in, and for the first time that night, I felt something other than fear. "You look like you need help," he said. I hesitated. Should I trust him? But something about him, the steady way he looked at me, the calm in his voice, made me sit down. His name was Jack, and without knowing it, he saved me that night. Jack didn't ask me why I was on the run. He didn't press for details. He just let me be. For 3 days, I stayed in the tiny apartment above his repair shop. He left food on the table, made me coffee in the mornings, and worked quietly in his shop while I tried to figure out my next move. I should have been planning my escape, but instead, I found myself watching Jack, the way he hummed while working, the way his eyes softened when he talked to the stray cat outside. It was a dangerous feeling, because feelings like that made people stay, and I wasn't meant to stay. I should have known Alex wouldn't let me go that easily. On the third night, a loud knock shattered the quiet. Jack stood before I could move. His sharp glance told me to stay hidden as he walked to the door. When he opened it, my blood ran cold. "Where is she, Alex?" His voice was calm, but I knew him well enough to hear the storm beneath it. Jack didn't move. "I don't know who you're talking about." Alex chuckled. "Come on. We both know she's here." Jack didn't flinch. "If she doesn't want to see you, that's her choice." A gun clicked. My breath caught in my throat. "Move," Alex said. I couldn't let Jack get hurt because of me, so I stepped into the light, Alex's eyes locked onto mine, the way a hunter watches its prey. "There you are," he murmured. I swallowed hard. "Let Jason go." Alex smirked. "I already did. I don't hold grudges, Anna. But you broke our deal." He tilted his head. "Lucky for you, I'm willing to give you another chance." My pulse pounded. "What do you want?" His gaze flickered to Jack. "You leave him. You come with me." Jack stiffened beside me. But he didn't speak. He didn't try to convince me to stay. He just waited. When he opened it, my blood ran cold. "Where is she?" "Alex." His voice was calm, but I knew him well enough to hear the storm beneath it. Jack didn't move. "I don't know who you're talking about." Alex chuckled. "Come on. We both know she's here." Jack didn't flinch. "If she doesn't want to see you, that's her choice." A gun clicked. My breath caught in my throat. "Move," Alex said. I couldn't let Jack get hurt because of me. So I stepped into the light. Alex's eyes locked onto mine, the way a hunter watches its prey. "There you are," he murmured. I swallowed hard. "Let Jason go." Alex smirked. "I already did. I don't hold grudges, Anna. But you broke our deal." He tilted his head. "Lucky for you, I'm willing to give you another chance." My pulse pounded. "What do you want?" His gaze flickered to Jack. "You leave him. You come with me." Jack stiffened beside me, but he didn't speak. He didn't try to convince me to stay. He just waited, because unlike Alex, he wanted me to choose for myself. And that was when I realized something. I wasn't afraid of Alex anymore. I took a deep breath. "No." Alex's smirk faltered. "Excuse me? You don't own me." My voice was steady, strong. His eyes darkened. "You really think you'll be safe without me?" I took a step closer, looking him in the eye. "I think you already know the answer to that." For the first time, Alex looked defeated. He didn't yell. He didn't threaten. He just turned and walked away. And when the door shut behind him, I finally felt free. The next morning, Jack and I stood outside his shop, watching the sunrise. "So," he said, leaning against his truck. "What now?" I exhaled. "I don't know." Jack smirked. "You could stick around." My heart pounded. "Would that be okay?" His eyes softened. "Yeah." And just like that, I knew. I wasn't running anymore. I had found my place, not in Alex's world of control or in the chaos of my past, but here, with someone who let me choose my own path. I reached for Jack's hand. He took it without hesitation. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in my life, I wasn't looking back. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.